Hey everyone, welcome back to All About AI Tech, where we break down the latest in artificial intelligence for you. If you've ever used chatbots like ChatGPT, Claude.ai, or Meta.ai, then you know how magical and helpful they can be. But here's the deal. Sometimes you don't want your sensitive questions handled by an external platform, right? Well, I've got some exciting news for you. Today, we're diving into 5 easy ways to run a large language model, or LLM, locally on your own machine. Trust me, this is going to be super useful. So, stick around as we go through each method with some practical and easy-to-understand examples. Alright, let's kick things off with a bit of context. Running an LLM locally might sound like a daunting task, but it's actually quite straightforward with the right tools. No need to worry about crazy hardware requirements either. I tested all the methods I'm sharing today on 2 systems, a Dell PC with an Intel i9 processor, 64GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce 12GB GPU, and a Mac with an M1 chip and just 16GB of RAM. Both worked like a charm. You might be wondering, why even bother running an LLM locally? Well, the primary reason is privacy. By running the model on your own machine, you ensure that no outside company gets access to your data. Plus, it's a great way to test new specialty models like Meta's Llama 3, tuned for coding, or Seamless M4T, which excels in text-to-speech and language translations. Let's start with our first tool, GPT-4all. This is perfect if you're looking for a local chatbot that won't send your data to an external server. GPT-4all offers a super easy-to-use desktop client. It's available for Windows, Mac OS, and Ubuntu. As of now, you can choose from around 10 different models, including Meta AI's Llama 2-7B chat. Plus, if you have an API key, you can even set up non-local use for GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. How cool is that? Now, the model download portion might be a tad confusing initially. I faced a bit of a hiccup myself. Even after downloading several models, it still showed the option to download them. But don't fret. Check your download path. The models should be there. Once you're all set, the chatbot interface is clean, easy to use, and even allows you to copy your chats to the clipboard. There's also a local docs plugin in beta that lets you chat with your own documents locally. Imagine chatting with your documents? That's just mind-blowing. Moving on, let's talk about using LLMs on the command line. If command lines are more your style, Simon Willison's command line tool, simply named LLM, is fantastic. It's one of the easiest ways to download and run open-source LLMs locally. If you're on a Mac and have Homebrew installed, just a quick brew install LLM and you're good to go. For Windows users, pip install LLM works like a charm. What's super cool about LLM is its flexibility with plugins. By default, it uses OpenAI models, but you can add plugins for other models like GPT-4all, Llama, and more. For instance, you can use the command LLM install LLM GPT-4all to get additional models from GPT-4all. You'll find a variety of models both local and remote, giving you so many options to choose from. Sending a query to a local LLM is straightforward. You simply type LLM, model name, your query. What's even more fantastic is that if the model you request, for instance, you could try asking, tell me a joke about computer programming. Isn't that convenient? I gave it a shot with the Falcon Q4_0 model and asked for a programming joke. It came up with, why did the programmer turn off his computer? Because he wanted to see if it was still working. Sure, it wasn't the best joke ever, but the query worked just fine. Remember, smoother results depend on the model's quality and your prompts. You can also set aliases for your favorite models in LLM, making your workflow even simpler. For example, LLM aliases set Falcon GGML, model, GPT-4all, Falcon, Q4_0 will let you use the alias Falcon for future queries. Such thoughtful features make LLM a powerful and user-friendly tool. There's also more detailed Llama model support, though it requires a bit more setup. Check out LLM's website for additional features and guides. Next up, we have Llama, an even easier method for downloading and running models. Up until recently, it was only available for Mac OS and Linux, but a preview version for Windows is now available too. The setup is super simple, almost point and click. Just one command, Llama run model name, and you're set. If the model isn't on your system, it will download automatically. Llama has a fantastic model library at ollama.ai/library. They've got several versions of Llama-based models including Llama 3, Code Llama, and MedLlama 2 for medical queries. On my 16GB RAM Mac, the 7B Code Llama performed impressively well. I even threw a complex question at it. Write our code for a ggplot2 graph where the bars are steel blue color. The code was almost spot on, except for a couple of minor issues. With larger models, you'll likely get even better results. LLM handles such tasks smoothly and efficiently even on machines with limited resources. Plus, it integrates with LangChain and can run with private GPT for even more powerful capabilities. Exciting stuff, right? Now, let's talk about H2O GPT by H2O.ai. They've been working on automated machine learning for a while, so it's no surprise they're in the LLM space now. The basic version of their H2O GPT app lets you use a general chatbot and even upload documents to fetch answers from them. The test app worked smoothly on my 16 GB Mac, although the smaller models didn't quite match GPT-4's performance. But that's something you can work on by tweaking the settings if you're more advanced. Their Expert tab offers tons of configuration options for those familiar with machine learning aspects, allowing you to optimize and get better results. I love how they've built this blend of simplicity and depth into the application. For those seeking more control, you can download the full application with one-click installers for Windows and Mac OS. Just note that my antivirus flagged it since the Windows installer isn't signed. But if you're familiar with H2O.ai's other products, it's a trusted source. Rob Mulla from H2O.ai has an informative YouTube tutorial specifically aimed at setting it up on Linux systems. Although the user interface has changed since then, his video is still a valuable guide for getting things started. Finally, we have Private GPT, another fantastic option for querying documents with natural language. Private GPT supports lots of different file formats and assures you that your data stays local. The setup involves creating embeddings and storing them in a local Chroma vector store. When you ask a question, it searches relevant documents and uses the LLM to generate an answer. If you're comfortable with Python, setting this up can be a rewarding experience. If not, Yvonne Martinez has set up a simplified repository that's easier to get started with. This personal touch to setting up Private GPT ensures that you have meaningful interactions with your own documents. Before we wrap up, I want to share something important with you. Here at All About AI Tech, we're constantly striving to improve the quality of our videos to provide you with top-notch content. We're also building a community where we can all exchange ideas and knowledge. So, your support and feedback mean the world to us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.